Okay, hello everyone. This is Andres Restrepo, and this is my instrument, my assessment instrument. I know and I'm aware that I could have come with something much better, but this is not bad. This just summarizes like what I think I should have learned during this course. So I mean, it's very basic, and it's something that it could be applied to any other any other way of testing. Like this time, I took a little text. I just wrote a little text. This could be a little bit more, elaborated or longer, but this is just a sample that I took. Okay, this is about a the objective of this assessment is to for me to get to know how my students are doing with the past tense of the regular verbs. So I want to assess them in different ways. So I'm trying to give them different ways to to be assessed, and they can pick from one of those. Okay, this is like the answer sheet. Somehow it says last year my family and I traveled out of the country. We went to a country named. I didn't give them the name of the country because I want them to figure out what it is. I gave them some clues anyway. It says it was amazing. We visited a city called Lima. So this is the first clue I gave them because this is the biggest city in that country. We stayed in a humble hotel. The houses and buildings looked different from the ones in the United States. So that's another clue that I wanted to give them, as they can compare something that is familiar to them with something that is quite different. We watched a lot of people and they all talked in Spanish. That is another clue. So we know that it could be in Latin America or in Spain. Okay, we entered the Machu Picchu's monument. Okay, I think this is the biggest clue that I gave them because anyone who has gone to this country, I think probably has gone to this place because it's one of the wonders of the world. It was not too crowded. Then we traveled back. I hope you figured what the country is, right? Okay, now this assessment could be done in pairs, in groups, individually, whatever. It depends on like the teacher and what he wants with this. It could actually be like a class activity, whatever. But the first part that they have to do is this one over here, because they have to choose where each word goes and figure out what the country these people are visiting. So they have the words here. I think they are in order, but they shouldn't be. But they have to place them where they are. So with this part, I want to see if they know what if they know the words, right? So this is the vocabulary part of the assessment. So as if they have this done, the rest are gonna be probably much easier. The first way I want to give them is spelling, right? So like the skill that I'm trying to see that they have is right here. Type in, it could be, I don't know, phonics, or it could be anything else. So, and I actually put this misspelled word here. I mean, I I'm aware of this, but that was the idea. Okay, so it says last year. So I want them to, change the words here. Try to figure out what the words are and change them. So in that way, I guess they're going to be, they're going to go over the text over and over, and just have fun. I always like to have this kind of scramble games. All right, and I'll also give them here a tool, which is they can click it and they can hear me. They can listen to me reading the text just to give them a hand. Okay, the second way that I'm giving them here is pronunciation, and I think this is one of my favorites, as they can just use the voice typing tool. They can use this in a Google Doc or in a Google Slide, whatever. So they just have to click here, press this microphone, and they will be speaking, and the text is going to be automatically here written. So if they pronounce the word correctly, they're gonna get the word correctly there as well. So this is very, very helpful for us to, practice pronunciation and other things. Okay, so this is the first option that I gave, the second option that I gave them, sorry, and or I'm giving them. Okay, but let's see what else. So they have to say the verbs in the right way, making the emphasis on the last, the last two sounds here, or the last sound, because it could be a T or a D or a ED, whatever. Okay, the third um, the third option that I'm giving them is answer the following questions about the text. So it is always needed and important to include reading there, because there are some kids who simply like the old way or the regular way. So, and that's a skill that they need to work on. Okay, so what they have to do here is just to, fill up this uh, spots here with the right words, and then the teacher can just come up with reading questions about this or about a longer text, whatever that he decides to do. Or in my opinion, I would do like a cultural search. I would not only include reading comprehension questions, but I will also ask them to find things about the country we're working on. So I bet you already figured out what the country is. So I will ask him like, how does Machu Picchu looks like, or where is that located, or why are the houses and buildings of this country different from the ones in the United States? Why they speak Spanish and we don't? I mean, like cultural things about this country. Or also, Lima is the capital of. Okay, I think I gave you so many clues. Now, the option number 4 is writing, right? So write 6 sentences, or you can ask them to write a whole different story, or you can ask them to write only 5, or you can ask them to write as many sentences as you think it is need to. Right? So it says write 6 sentences or a story using the next words. So I included here the same words that they have in the previous or in this paragraph. So they can just practice, or everybody's like kind of on the same page, and they can have the same input as everybody's having. So I don't ask them just to write a story or an anecdote of a travel they have had, to a different country, but I have to, try to make them be on the same page. Everybody is. Okay, this is the 4th option. The 5th, act out the next text. You need to add some words and fun to it. So this is kind of like a fun way for them to, work on this. And I know that if this is included in the classroom, a lot of kids are going to be, picking this option, because there are people who like to, stand out, and this is a way for them to show that they do it well, So this is just an amazing way for them to, include a text, to put the vocabulary there, work on pronunciation, and also, not to show off, but just to stand out and do what they like. In this part, I included another subject of the school, or it could be another subject or topic, in the program you are working on. So you can just like connect the other, subjects to your language part. Now, what I did is that I divided the story or the text into sentences. So they have to read this. I mean, they're not supposed to have their, those this words there, but they can just write them down. But when they have all the sentences, what they can do is that they can draw a picture here that it relates to it, or they just can find it on, on the web, because, or on internet, because that's gonna be easier. And they, you know I guess children nowadays, or people nowadays, like the simpler ways, so I mean, we have to cope with that. Okay, so it could be also, math or social studies or any other subject that, can be integrated into what we are working on. So what my intention with this instrument was to not only give them one way, like just reading this text and having reading comprehension, questions, but also the option of picking, or of the option of, deciding what to do and how to show, what they know. That's something that I always liked about my own teachers, and I'm sure that that's something that also my children or my students also like. I hope you have found this helpful some way. And if you have any question, or if you have any comment about it, it could be negative, positive, whatever. I'll say that, and I always say that any comment is something positive. Okay, so I'll be open to listen or read it. And thank you for watching this presentation. Bye.